Yahweh, for your love all the time. Oh, Yahweh, Bashir Yahushai. Shalaki Yahweh, for my sins as I cry. Babakashai Yahweh, for reply every time. Kolo Yahweh, Vashim Yahushai. Water Yahweh, for your Akim you supply. Kolo Yahweh, Vashim Yahushai. Shalom, shalom. It's your brother Obadiah Yahweh Kanan, and I am here in this beautiful, beautiful afternoon, bringing out the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We want to give salutations to, obviously, the hopeful elect. We want to give salutations to the speckled bird, those that are scattered around the world, that are opening, their eyes are being opening, and the elect, first and foremost. We want to definitely give our most amorous and respectful admiration to the apostles, a great millstone who taught us this truth, because they brought the accuracy out that's necessary, and they stick to the sacred name, which is most important and utmost important as we are here today to praise, worship, and pray. As I say always, we must praise, worship, and pray. This is paramount in terms of what we're supposed to be doing in reference to the lesson today. Now, we're going to get into this lesson today. I'm going to get my camera and move it up just a little bit closer to me. So just bear with me a little bit here. Make sure we get me in there good and get set, okay? All right, there we go. I think that ought to do it. And we're going to get into the lesson today, and it's going to be a good one. Now, as I said before, and I say many times, that the lessons that I get from Yahweh Shem Yahushai are extremely unique in terms of the message, the magnitude, and the process of the lesson in all facets of it. And I want to give you the title of the lesson today, and it is such. It says Yahawah's 501c3 CBDC. Okay, now Yahawah's 501c3 CBDC. Now most of us know what the 501c3 is. And like I said, this is basically dealing with the cutoff period. All right, this is the cutoff period that's coming up quite effectively on us, and a lot of us are not understanding some of the deeper magnitudes of this process in terms of the cutoff. And this is what Yahweh Shem Yahushua brought to my spirit to do this afternoon. And I posted this title yesterday, but I had a lot of things that I had to cover, and right now I'm dealing with a little bit of a little demonistic consternation. I just put it to you like that, demonistic consternation. If you know what that consternation is, it's like contention against you to try to get the word out and do what's right. And then this is what we do: count it all joy that we can actually come out and do the word for the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai, no matter who tries to come against it, because it ain't going to work. They're not going to stop anything. But again, Yahweh's 501c3 CBDC. Now, the 501c3, as I said before, is paramount to all of what we deal with in this wicked system, because Job chapter 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So clearly, the 501c3 is I would call it the economic vehicle that the wicked uses to promote and to bring forth the control and the process of the slavery that we're under. Because see, what we're dealing with now is materialistic slavery. If you saw that in the caption or the picture that comes up for the lesson, it tells you materialistic slavery, which we're in the process of, and we've been in it for quite some time, because of one of all things. And of course, that brings me to the scripture in Deuteronomy. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? Deuteronomy 28. So go with me to Deuteronomy 28. and I'm going to verse 48. All right, Deuteronomy 28:48, and it says, and it reads, "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh," and if it's in capital letters, you know it's Yahweh, "shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until thou neck unto thee." Okay, I'll read that again. "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies." Who is thine enemies? Clearly, thine enemies are Esau, Edom, in terms of him having the power structure and the system given to him of this world. When Jacob and Esau were getting their blessings, basically what Esau got was the fatness of the land, the sword, and of course, in between that, he got the multitude and the level of deception that he's bringing out, and he is going to move this deception level up to the nth degree, because the Most High is going to bring it all to that portion, to that fruition. Everything that is going on is being controlled by Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai. Esau ain't doing this on his own. Jakes don't do things on their own. None of us do things on our own. It's all being pushed by our Father and being managed by the Son, Yahushai, and the angels. That's what's going on. Let's not get it twisted. Let's keep focused on the situation. So as it says, right? "Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee." That's wanted to bring that out as my starting scripture, because what we're going to be dealing with here is, like I said, the 501c3 situation is such that we're all actually using that process in some way, shape, or form. Okay, how do I say that? How do I explain that? Okay, from the point in time when we have been brought over here, unbeknownst to us in an unwilling fashion as slaves, and all those of us in slavery from the northern kingdom, which is a reverse slavery, on to the southern kingdom, which is direct slavery with the transatlantic slave trade and everything in between, the 501c3 process was already in place. Esau Edom has set up the process of us to be able to use a resource that he has made through his unrighteous decrees that he's pushed upon the whole world. And I mean upon the whole world. Okay, so his 501c derivatives in his process has been given to the world. Everybody's using in the world right now a similitude, if not directly, the currency process that Esau Edom has in place. Case in point, you call it the dollar, we call it the dollar. So what's happening is Esau has permeated and perpetrated this process around the world, and now it's coming apart. But see, here's the thing. Everyone has had a portion of their hand in this bag. We all have to do. We have to pay for everything that we are allowed to lease in our materialistic slavery, our materialistic captivity and slavery. We're leased on everything. If you own a car, you have to pay to keep it running. You have to pay for the process of registering the car. If you have a house, you have to pay for the mortgage. If it's paid for, you have to pay for the taxes of the land. You get taxed in and out. You are 501c3 all over your whole entire existence. This is what they're doing. You got to pay in order to play. If you don't pay, you can't play, or you can't do anything. And this is what it's coming down to. All right, and that's why it's very simple that this message should have been gotten out a long time ago, and it should have been brought forth. But I can understand the sequence of things that have to happen. All right, what has to happen here? It has to go down where Esau Edom is going to deceptively and sneakily bring in the MOTB to the degree where you either are going to take it or you're going to continue to follow the Most High, and that's what the situation is. God put a little something together here that that reminds me of what I was talking about prior to this, and it says, let me run it down for you so you can hear it and you can understand what I'm saying. All right, 501c3 CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. Will you resume in June? Hear me out. Will you resume in June and comply in July? And by August, it's a must or a bust. And in September, you will remember, and by October, it's over. Okay? Let's just face it. That's what you're dealing with. Because what is it? It's the 501c3 train, 501c3 CBDC train. Are you in first class? Are you sitting in the back? Or are you sitting way in the back? Now, let me explain that because that's very important. We have a lot of organizations and a lot of our brethren who are in the truth. Let's say we know that's the case. And they are preaching and teaching and doing the work, okay? You are doing the work. And this is an excellent thing in terms of you doing the work. But let me say this to you, all right? Is the work contingent upon you using the 501c3 process to get the message out? Case in point, look at what we're dealing with right now, all right? I'm online right now, right? I'm live right now. But I have to pay for this live, this service that I'm using right now with my phone. I have to pay for this service. Now, am I willing to compromise my faith and my belief and pay for this service when the CBDC comes down through the 501c3 process on a minimized level? Not talking about the greater level that you see a lot of the camps get involved with. You know, as far as when you talk about the camps saying the purple people, you know, when you talk about the people who have the purple band uniforms. How deep are they into the 501c3, which they have to look at taking on the CBDC as a methodology or a process in order for you to continue to promote the ministry? This is what the challenge is coming up. Now, I'm not going to say or ever going to say that my Father, my Creator, YAHAWAH'S, cannot provide me a way to continue to bring forth the message. But let's take in consideration what's going to happen in a very short window of time. This is something that needs to be drilled down because YAHAWAH'S drills down in my spirit and my mindset this stuff all the time. I don't get regular stuff. I get stuff that I just don't understand how, but I get it. He's saying to me that for the most part, the 501c3 process that they're sneakily running this thing through, the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, this could be the start of the hour of temptation. I said the start. I didn't say it was, but it's the start. Let me explain why. Because if everything goes on to the CBDC, okay, you have to now make a decision. Am I taking the CBDC card process? Okay, let's just say they come at you first and they bring you the process of a card with a chip on it, not putting the actual MOTB in the charagma into your body just yet. But they do it in a way where they say, okay, here's a card. First level card could be like a white card, sort of like your EBT card, or they took the snap away. And then the second card could be a black card with a microchip on it. And then the third card could be a silver, and then so on, a gold, and what have you. And it would be based upon your monetary position in terms of your economic footprint. And okay, you're using the card. Now, while you're using that card, you're in the process of using the CBDC because all the rest of the banks are no longer in effect. So it's one bank, one card, faceless card, or whatever they put on it as they come, and you're using that card. Now, that card would eventually be compromised. You know it because someone's going to hack it, or Esau going to hack it himself and put it in a position where what's going to be the case. Now they don't need the card anymore. So now you got to report to your local chipping station or whatever, what have you. So that's what's going to be the case. So like I'm saying right now, the CBDC process right now with the 501c3 CBDC, it could inevitably be the start of the hour of temptation because you got to make a choice on at some point, and you're going to praise, worship, and pray to YAHAWAH'S to say, okay, Lord, my Lord, my Savior, my deliverer, what do I do now? How do I pay for everything I need to pay for without compromising my faith and my salvation, okay, with this CBDC? How do I do this now? What is the directives that have to come now from the leadership to tell you what you're supposed to do? Because I've spoken about this many times, and I've also given you many lessons on isolation tribulation that's coming. I've also talked to you about the fact that the Most High Yahawah Hashem Yahushai, he prepares all his elect. All of his elect are always given preparatory activity so that you could be in position to do what Noah did, to do what Ezekiel did, to do what Joseph did, to do what Isaiah did. The Most High Yahawah Hashem Yahushai always use the preparatory process to deal with his judgments and his wrath that even aren't directed to the elect, but you're still here in the flesh, so you're going to potentially be going through this because you are in the flesh. Okay, so let's take that in consideration. And the Most High is no respecter of persons, so you know when he lays it out on anybody, he's laying it out on everybody. So how does it work now? Is someone going to be sacrificed in the organization to take the CBDC? I don't think in my spirit, in my heart, that any of the brethren who are in this truth at the level of real truth, of accurate truth, would ever do that. Would say, some of y'all got to take the CBDC so we can keep money going, so we can continue to preach and teach on the unicorn of information. But because everything's going to, every transaction process is going to this. Everything you have to make a transaction process on is going to go to this process. 501c3 is going to be the platform that they're going to ride this stuff on to people in churches and organizations, and they have different levels. And of course, the CBDC is going to be that actual vehicle that you're going to use for transactional purposes. Okay, so how does this work now? Is someone going to take it to continue to support the ministries of some of these organizations that don't operate with the sacred name, that don't operate with the truth all the way? Okay, if you're out here doing albums, rapping, selling smell goods, you know, pushing what types of vehicles you drive and how awesome you are in the ministry through your material and carnality workshops, listen, it's all driven by Esau's 501c3 financial platform that he's moving to the CBDC. So where you sit at on the train, like I said, you in first class, you in second, you way in the back. Where are you? Are you jumping on the back of the train outside and hitching a ride? Every transactional process that we know about for any purpose at all is going to happen. And now when it does happen, choice is going, the Most High knows who he selected to do this and don't do this. Are you one that he predestined to take the first step of the MOTB with the CBDC? Is this what's going to happen? Because this choice is coming to everyone in the world, not just us. But moreover, it's most important in reference to the fact that the elect are going to be challenged on this. The leaders of organizations and camps are going to be challenged on this. The elders and every single man of the Lord is going to be challenged on whether or not you're going to take this CBDC to continue to communicate on the platforms that Esau Edom has been afforded because of his position right now in this system in the world. Let's not get it twisted. This blue letter Bible I'm looking at, this online with my tablet, my phone, my recording, if I don't pay for this message ain't going out like that. This could inevitably be also a process that could say this is now when the famine of the word begins. Because if you don't take the CBDC, which basically is put you inside the door of the MOTB, if you don't take the CBDC, how are you going to transmit information about prophecies that are happening, which is what's done when we come out and do this outside as well as inside? How are you going to transmit this information? Better yet, how are you going to communicate with each other if you don't have the money, the credit through the CBDC to pay for your cell phone to communicate with your Akim brothers and sisters and whoever you need to communicate with, elders and what have you? How are you going to pay for this? Do you have a plan? Have you stored up some kind of a process or some kind of a resource in order for you to be able to do some trading, some bartering, to get your service still online? I mean, is it lawful for you to get to trade with someone who has taken the CBDC that's not a part of your organization, or they're not a part of any organization, but you use them as a transport vehicle or entity in order to get your stuff back up in online so that you can communicate. This is the challenge that's coming to us in probably a couple weeks at best. Because once this thing really kicks off, they want it to be launched in July. So that means preparation, as I said before, even Esau prepares. Preparation is what's coming first in order for the launch to actually happen. All right, so now I feel like I got enough of this out to tell you what's going on here. So like I said, I'm going to say it again. Will you resume in June? Resuming in June simply means, are you going to start going along with the process and lining up to be part of the CBDC and get stronger with the 501c3 train? Are you going to up your ante on riding with the bag of the 501c3? All of you who are promoting your ministry through this economic footprint, this is a challenge you're going to have to deal with. Okay, so will you resume in June and comply in July? When you comply in July, that means once it's up and running, you're on board. You've taken the CBDC card with the chip on it, and you've decided to say, okay, now I'm going to use this because it's not Karagma. I'm not Karagma yet, but you still stood inside. You went inside the door of the MOTB, because if you take the system, what's to say you're not going to go ahead and take the chip? Okay, this is real simple. So will you comply in July? Okay, and by August, it's a must or a bust. Why do I say August a must or a bust? Because those of us that stand strong in our faith and do not move and do not cringe and do not fear and continue to have faith, because this is what we must do, we're going to have to deal in August as a must or a bust. In other words, you're either going to deal with the hour of temptation in August or bust. The bust is you're going to have to make some moves. You're going to either be, Most High either going to take you to the wilderness, or you're going to, I don't know, wherever Esau might take you, concentration camp. I don't know. It could be anything. Could be anywhere. And then by September, you will remember this conversation, this information that you were told you had to prepare for this process. Okay? And by October, we hope this is all over. And this is what we're talking about. Okay, so let's get into scripture so we can do that. We took Deuteronomy 28:48 already, and now what we're going to do is I'm going to go over to Revelation. Let's see, I think I'm going to go to Revelation 3 first, and 10 through 13, right? YAHAWAH'S speaking, right? And he says here, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the Israelites. It says the churches, but we're really talking about the Israelites, okay? And get my glasses, shalaki. Okay. Okay, and unto the angel of the church of Laodicea, right, these things saith Amen, the faithful and the true witness, the beginning of the creation of Yahweh. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. Okay, now, let me just say this, okay? I brought you there because we got a lot of people that have works that are cold and some that are hot. And this sacrifice of this process is going to appear its royal and righteous head very quickly. It's going to be a royal righteous head. The sacrifice process that has to happen in terms of whether you choose to take this CBDC, whether you're selected to take this CBDC, because we're already operating on the 501c3. So YAHAWAH has always told us, this is the sequence. Are you following the directions? Because a lot of people are not following the directions, and this is what we're dealing with. Okay, 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Now you heard that. He said, behold, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. He's talking to the elect, okay? I will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the whole world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? You hear, and he says here, 11, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man man take thy crown. Okay? 12, him that overcometh will I make him a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out, and will write upon him the name of my power. See that? Yahweh's name. And the name of the city of my power, of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down as a people, not a place, okay, which cometh down out of heaven from my power, and I will write upon him my new name. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith to the Israelites. That's what I said before. Okay, now you see here, okay, he said, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple. That's important, okay, because we ought to understand this is going to be a similitude and a process of the hour of temptation. You're going to be tempted to determine whether you take the CBDC or not. Why? Because you can't pay for anything unless you take the CBDC. This is paramount and tantamount to the MOTB. And I'm telling you that right now. That's exactly what the situation is. Don't pay any mind to my wood wasp. They just fly around and deal with each other. They'll show up on my camera a little bit, but that's fine. They're not gonna mess with you. They're just interested in wood. Unless you made of wood, they don't give a crap about you. All right. So you ain't gotta worry about that. Okay, so we went to Revelation chapter 3 and we read 10 to 13. And if you want me to read it again, I'll do it again because it's important. Okay, 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Now, what's keeping the word of the Most High Yahawah's patience? That means you don't deviate from the accuracy of the truth, okay? You don't get into talking about Most High Christ blessed. You don't be talking about Lord in Christ. You don't be saying stuff like that. That's not because thou hast kept the word of my patience. The word of his patience is staying in the sacred name and staying in the accuracy of the truth, okay? He said, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So if you're not keeping in his patience the word, then you're not going to be protected from what's coming with the CBDC and the push and the rise and the higher rise of the 501c3, okay? You're not going to be protected, which means if you're not protected, you're going to take it, which means, hey, you're finished. In October, it's over, okay? So this is what you're going to be dealing with, all right? So he says here, behold, I come quickly. Hold fast which thou hast, that no man may take thy crown. So holding fast which thou had means you got to be in this truth from the accuracy and the sacredness of the Most High's name. I read to you in Deuteronomy chapter 48, where he told you, you're trying to keep a crown. You're trying to have a crown. You're trying to move in that direction. But you're going to have your crown taken if you take the CBDC, which basically is inside the door of the MOTB. I mean, you can't get around this, okay? Everybody that's doing anything in this ministry that's in the truth is going to be challenged in a few weeks on whether or not you are going to take the full gamut of the deception of the 501c3 as well as the CBDC. It's a combination package that's already set up for you. He's sliding this thing in just like that. It might be a card, or he might go hardcore and tell you to report to Walgreens or Walmart to your station and get your MOTB. He just may do that. I don't know. But are you ready? What's your alternative? Do you have a plan? What is your plan? Now, I know Most High, all praise and call Lord YAHAWAH'S He can deliver, he will, and he can deliver and will deliver us from anything and everything. And even this situation. But right at this moment, I do not have an answer, nor should I have an answer to what you're going to directly do other than what he's already told you to do to prepare to go through the judgment and the wrath. He told you he'll get you out of Jacob's trouble, but you have to be in it to get out of it. Okay? If you're not in it, he don't need to get you out of it. But he says you will be delivered out of it. So if you're going to be delivered out of it, you're going to have to go through something. Nobody's going to escape through this situation. I've listened to Apostle Ramlin today and many others who talked about, you know what, there's no way we're going to not be touched by this. There's no way we're not going to be touched. So are you prepared to at least be touched? And you know, when the Most High touch you, look at what he's doing to some of the other people around the world. He's just touching them. So if he's touching them at the level he is right now, and let's say he touches you just a little bit of the Most High's judgment is, man, it's hardcore, it's serious, man. So I'm telling you, even under the elect, you are told to prepare. Now, what's the directive coming out from the leadership to tell you who's going to take CBDC? You're not going to take CBDC. Everything's going to get shut off. You're not going to be able to pay no bills. You're not going to be able to move around. You ain't buying no gas. You ain't driving no cars. You ain't getting no food. What you going to do? Because unless you take the CBDC, you ain't doing none of that. And if you take that, what does that tell you? So this is important, man. Okay, so let's go to, while we're in Revelation, we're going to pop over to Revelation chapter 13, okay? And you know where this is going. 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand and in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, we all know that's been studying in this word long enough. It is part of the process of the barcode system that was invented out of Raleigh by a man. I don't want to put up the name because I don't want to have to claim copyright information. But what I'm saying is the barcode is all about a transactional process. Everything that we have and get in this world from anybody, I don't care, Amazon, eBay, you name it, from the store, any store, any store you know where, is a barcode on it, okay? The beast 666 is on that, okay? And they're even talking about I seen a commercial the other day, they put the barcode on the girl's finger, okay? And she was paying for stuff with the finger. And then she even had a little glove that goes over the finger to warm the finger and recharge it. See, you gotta understand what's going on here. Total materialistic slavery is about to turn up to the highest level. That's why the picture is on the lesson in the way that it is. Everybody should be starting to talk about this right now. I mean, right now. It's no waiting, because guess what? We only got what do we have? A couple days, couple weeks? Come on, man. If they want to launch it in July, then they got to ramp it up in the next 2 months. So if they're going to put it everywhere, they're going to put it. And we walk around, Jake walk around, man, clueless of everything that's going on. Like they just going, well, I'll just accept it so I can continue to do this and continue to pay and everything else. But see, what you don't understand, I was listening to Amwal Gabar, and he was telling me, he said, there's a limitation to how much you can do with the credit, so-called money that you get. You may get 30 days. In the 30 days, you got to use that money. And if you don't, you lose that money. Okay, then they're going to put restrictions on what you can buy and how you can buy. And if they're going to do that, restrictions on what you can buy, how you can buy, and the money you can use in the way you can, what makes us think that Esau is going to say, oh yeah, I want you to go ahead and use your CBDC to put more information out about how wicked I am? Now you think about that. Think about it. Is he going to be compliant? Okay, like I said, I was talking to several of the people who I talk to in this truth of mine, who care for me, who care about what the YAHAWAH'S is doing with me and for them. And I told them many times, I said, you know what? What he may just do, and now of course, as I say this, Esau is being puppetized by the Most High on absolutely everything happening. What may happen here is that the Most High may just say, okay, fine, I'm going to let Esau put you in temporary, maybe not temporary, how about controlled materialistic slavery? Meaning, you're only going to buy what he approves that you can actually have. So if you want to go and get something that's going to mess up the carbon footprint of what he feels you shouldn't have, he's going to shut it off. Like, for instance, you want to go buy a pack of cigarettes, or you want to go buy something else or some alcohol or whatever, he may say, nope, you ain't getting it. Shut you off. So now your addiction goes way up off the roof because you can't get these things that you shouldn't be doing anyway, okay? You may want to go buy something for yourself in a pleasure mode. I don't know, could be anything. You may want to go buy yourself a new fishing rod, okay? Or you may want to go buy yourself something that's going to pleasure you in terms of a vehicle or anything. Nope, your carbon footprint's too deep. You ain't doing that. You don't have that much money to do this with. I'm not letting you do it. And if you are able to get it, he penalizes you. He may suspend your buying privileges for a little while. So now you can't buy anything. Okay, so let's take it to the stage with what we care about most of all, which is getting these lessons out for YAHAWAH'S. Okay, let's say he decides to say, all right, when you want to do a lesson, if you say anything about me that I don't like, that's derogatory, or I see it as a community violation to the guidelines, I'm going to charge you for every lesson that you want to put out from now on, $50, $60, $100, or you ain't putting it out. You're not going to put it out on the unicorn of information. All right? Or I'm just going to charge you in general because I don't like your organizations and I don't care about you. And Esau may just say, I'm going to restrict you and put the money out there so that you can't buy anything that goes against what his decrees are, his wishes. So now you can't even get lessons out. It could be the famine of the word coming right in your face, like almost instantly. So you got to understand that this is what's going on. Okay, let's go into, we did Revelation chapter 13, 16. Now I want to go to 1 John, okay? Go with me to 1 John, and I'm going to chapter 2, 15 to 16, 15 to 17, right? 1 John chapter 2 and 15 to 17. All right? Now let's deal with everybody who's dealing with materialistic aspirations and lust and feelings about how they want to operate in this world and not paying attention to Yahawah Shem Yahushua and the brothers and the that are bringing the information out. And it reads, St. John chapter 2, 15 to 17. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. I will read that again. Okay, because this is the choice that you're going to make. I've always told you from the beginning that Most High has to be your first love. He wants the higher love. The lessons are there. I put them out there for Yahawah Shem Yahushua. He has to be first. He is the first love and the highest love. Even Yahushua told you that. You lost your first love. He told you that in Revelation 2939, and he told the 7 churches of Asia, which are those individuals that are what? Who are they? They're the Israelites in that area that are scattered. Again, 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of Yahawah the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Okay? All right? Shlaki, going to 17. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahawah abideth forever. Okay? So I'll read those three verses again because I want to make sure you get this down, because this is directly tied to the CBDC in terms of the process that we're going to be thrust into. No one's getting around that. If you're in the flesh and you on this earth and you use 501c3 derivatives all the time, every day, they're all woven through all the economic platform that Esau has out here. And it reads 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, and that includes women and men, then the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away. And we talk about the world, we talk about the world system, not the whole planet. Don't listen to bug out Esau, Edom, or any of these other bugged out people. The whole world's not passing away, but just the elements and rudiments of wickedness, okay? All right? And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of Yahawah abideth forever. Doing the will means you can't take the unrighteous decrees and the things that Esau's putting out and let them stick to your ribs and you start getting involved with it and worshiping it. You can't do that. That's not going to work at all. Okay, next we're going to go to 1 Timothy, which is my next precept, and we're going to chapter 6, okay, and we're going to read 7 and 8. All right, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. So clearly he's letting you know, you came into this world naked, you going out of this world naked. And this is the mindset that you should have when this 501c3 deception rolls this train up with the CBDC. You ought to have this mindset. Just like in verse 7 and 6, and chapter 6 and 1 Timothy, where it says, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we carry nothing out. And that includes your wicked activities that you think you're going to bring into the new covenant. It ain't happening. All right, you ain't bringing that. Okay, and then we're going to read 8, and it says, and having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. So if the Most High Yahawah Shem Yahushua decides to say, I'm going to allow you to have food and raiment and maybe and shelter, you should be content with that. But are you going to take and get on the train, take a ticket and get on the train of the 501c3 / CBDC? Are you going to go with that situation that is going to be the start of the cutoff period, which is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the start of the cutoff period. So you tell me, what's your choice, okay? And you can't ignore it and say, well, if I ignore it, maybe it won't happen. That's not going to happen. All right, Mark chapter 8, verse 36 is my next one, okay? All right, so I'm going to Mark chapter 8 and verse 36. It says, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Okay? Or 37. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Okay? All right, 38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me, of my words, in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. See, he's only coming to do what his Father said. So all you wacky-tacky people and all you Christians and everyone else who talks about, well, you know, Jesus came and he changed everything and made everybody accept it. It made all foods good. You're out of your freaking mind. Okay, you're lost. You don't know what you're talking about. He didn't come to change anything. He came to do the Father's will, just like he said here. He did not come to change anything. He doesn't have authorization to change the Most High's prophecies and his will. He didn't do that. So stop saying that. You're bugging out, and guess what? You're going to have to pay for it. All right? Next place we're going is 2 Corinthians. So go with me to 2 Corinthians chapter 4. All right? And I'm going to read 18. And it reads, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So the Most High is saying, and I'm saying to you, I know I just set you on edge when I just told you that no one's been saying anything to you about how you're going to keep your transmission going with your services like your cell phone and anything else that's going on in your life. I know it sets you on edge. So what? It should set you on edge because you should have been preparing for this the whole time any damn way. Okay, so now you're set on edge and you see what I got for you here on Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. What that also translates to be for you, if you don't know, is that the Most High can deliver us through this process, and he will deliver us through this process because he told you. But he didn't tell you weren't going to struggle. He didn't tell you weren't going to go through this. So this is what you need to take in consideration as well. You will be going through this, but he will provide a way out. I'm not saying that the Most High can't deliver us. I would never say he can't deliver us from this 501c3 CBDC train that's going to go off the rails. Can't you notice and don't you notice that trains have been literally going off the rails all over the country? That's a message to you. That's a sign to tell you that this system's going off the rails completely, and you need to understand that. And then a lot of people don't pay attention to that. So that's what you need to get there. I'm going to Hebrews now. The next is next precept. Going to Hebrews chapter 13, and I'm going to read a precept from verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. So as I said before, you notice I came out and I said to you that there's going to be a lot of consternation. There's going to be a lot of challenges that are going to come when this CBDC comes down in the 501c deception process. But I told you how it's going to be. But one thing I'm telling you is also he will deliver you. But you have to follow the protocols that he put forth in terms of your preparation. You do everything in preparation. Why in the hell would you think you're not supposed to prepare for this situation that's coming up next? Tell me why you would think you shouldn't prepare. Everything you do, you prepare to go out to camp. You prepare for the Sabbath. You prepare to go to work every day. You prepare your food. You're preparing every damn thing. So why aren't you trying to be prepared or getting directives on what you're supposed to do when the 501c3 deception level is turned way up and the CBDC comes down, which is tantamount to and paramount to the MOTB? What the hell are you going to do? How are you going to keep the ministry going online? How are you going to pay for gas? Do I need to repeat this all over again? How are you going to pay for your own home situation? Yes, you will depend on the Most High. You will depend on him to deliver you from this situation. But I'm going to tell you something. He also tells you that you have to have a plan. You have to follow his plan. You got to go and get his directives. Are you getting any directives? Are you told what to do in the next couple of weeks when this SHTF hits? Okay? Are you told? Tell me. Okay? You don't want to speak on it? That's fine. But like I said, all right, I gave you Hebrews 13:5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he has said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. All right? And what do I want to get to the next one? Okay. Now, and the next one I want to hit is Matthew. See, I wanted to go. I gave you some Old Testament. And I'm giving you some New Testament too, right? Okay. So I'm going to Matthew chapter 6 next. Okay. So that's where we're going next. Join me, Matthew chapter 6, and I want 21, and then I'm gonna go to 16. Matthew 6, 21, and it reads, for where your treasure is, there your heart be also. Now think about that. All right, that's why, and I'll go up top and I'll read the paramount or the tantamount to that. Okay, it says here, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. There's going to be a lot of that going on when everything hits the fan, okay? Lay not up, 19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. 20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be. Okay? Now, what does that mean? How do you lay up treasure for yourself in heaven where moth and rust can't get to it? Well, by doing this work. By being one of the individuals that the Most High chose as an election, predestined to come out and bring this truth and this word out. If you are that, you're laying up treasure in heaven by doing the work. Because the only thing you can take with you when you leave here is your work. You can't take anything else. All right? So you get to take your work with you when you go. So laying up that treasure is treasure that can be used. And that treasure is your spiritual bank account that the Most High can say, okay, you're doing the work. You got a very healthy spiritual bank account. And when the stuff hits the fan, I'm going to deliver you some blessings to go through my wrath, to go through my judgments. So that's how you lay up treasures in heaven for yourself. But if you lay up on earth and think you're going to do it this way, you're in trouble. You are allowed to not sit around and just waste away while the tribulation and all of the wrath is poured out. He didn't tell you to go sit in a corner and say, just pray to me. No, he said you are supposed to do something. Elder Manat Zappa did a lesson that they talked about the fact that when you get a talent or you get something that Yahawah gave you, you're supposed to bring back fruit. You're supposed to double it. If you get one, you should come back with 2, 3, or 4. You got to do something. You can't hide it under a napkin. So that means you have to prepare and go do something. So this is what you're supposed to be dealing with. All right? And a lot of people don't recognize that or pay attention to that process. All right? Now I'm going to go to Matthew chapter 16. And I got 26. Okay, and that reads, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Now, anytime you're going to hear this multiple times in the New Testament from YAHAWAH'S when the Mashiach talks about this, he clearly is telling you, he's speaking not only prophetically, but he's also speaking in a futuristic capacity and also in a historical capacity. And that's why he said it multiple times in the scriptures. So you have to pay attention to that. All right? And that's what's important. Now, I'm getting ready to I want to wrap this up because I didn't want to make it too long because this was a message that had a very biting and serious tone and aspect to what we're getting ready to deal with. And you know no one has spoken on this. Don't get it twisted. There's no one told you or said to you, are you going to be subject to taking the MOTV through the CBDC. No one said that. We talk about not taking the MOTB, but this is the front door, inside the door with the CBDC. Okay? So if you take that, then what's stopping you from taking the MOTB if you take the CBDC? All right? So you got to think about this. And who's telling you this? Who's talking to you about this? Who's giving you some directives to do what? Okay? Who's doing that? All right? I'm going to hit Proverbs. I'm going to get ready to close out. So we're going to go to Proverbs. And I want chapter 11. So go there. And I want precept 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Okay? Proverbs chapter 11, verse 4. All right? Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but delivereth from death. 5. The righteous of the perfect shall direct his way. You hear what I just said? The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. And that's his or her. If your ass is wicked, you're going to fall by your own wickedness. Trust it, okay? Now, 6, the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness, okay? This is definitely for all you who are getting ready to suck on the tip of the CBDC. So get ready for the sword. It's coming. 7, when the wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of the unjust man perish. 8, the righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. 9, line up for this one, because there's a whole lot of you of these out here, okay? And hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. When he goeth well with his righteous, the city rejoiceth. And when the wicked perish, there is shouting. In other words, they're glad your ass is gone. All right? All right. 11. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. 12. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man or woman of understanding holdeth his peace. All right? 13. Load up and sign up for this one if this is you, male or female. All right? A talebearer receiveth secrets, but he or she that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Where no counsel is, the people fall. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Where's your directive to tell you what to do in terms of the rollout of the CBDC? Okay? All right? Think about it. Okay? Where there's no counsel is, the people fall. But the multitude of counselors, there is safety. Where are the multitude of counselors? Who's bringing it out for you? Okay? 15. He that is surety of a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hath sureship is sure. A gracious woman retaineth honor. A strong man retaineth riches. 17. The merciful man doeth good in his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. Okay? All right, I'm getting ready to close out with a couple more of these here. The merciful man doeth good in his own soul, but he that is cruel doeth his own flesh. The wicked, 18, the wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him or her that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. 19, as righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. 20, they that are of a forward heart are an abomination to Yahawah, the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. Right? All right. 21, though hand join into hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. And that's where I'm going to stop on the precepts that I have for you. As I said before, all right, this is the YAHAWAH'S 501c3/CBDC train. All right, this is the start of the cutoff period. It's the start of it. It could be the start of the hour of temptation. I don't know, but we're going to find out, because it's coming to a neighborhood, a home, a house, a place of refuge that you think you have near you soon. I'm telling you, this is a message, a very vital and very important message that you're not hearing from a lot of my brethren. They're going to get around to it. They've been hitting around and getting around to it. They've been telling you what's coming, that the Father's pushing, Most High's pushing this. He's pushing the CBDC this soon. He's doing it. He's doing all that. Okay? So, what you either going to comply or die? What are you going to do? Now, if you comply with the CBDC, you still die. But if you comply and die with the Lord, you'll live. Because he said those who try to save their lives will lose their lives. And those who put their life in the hands of YAHAWAH'S will save their lives. Roughly paraphrased, but that's what you're dealing with. So, you're going to have to make up your decision. Will you resume in June and comply in July? And by August, it's a must, like I said, or a bust. And in September, you will remember this lesson, even if we're not online or on the internet or on the unicorn of information preaching and teaching to you anymore. And by October, we praise, worship, and pray to YAHAWAH'S. This will all be over. Oh, Yahweh. Vashem Yahushai, Vashem Ruchakadash, Wada Yahweh, Wada Yahweh, Vashem Yahushai. I love you, my Father, so I praise you all the time. Oh, Yahweh. Vashem Yahushai, Shlaki Yahweh, for my sin that I cry. Call Yahweh, Vashem Yahushai, Shlaki Yahweh, for my sin that I cry. Call Yahweh, Vashem.